Is there something missing? Like right back here? I need to find something to put there, don't you think? Alright, I have an unboxing video for you today, and yeah, it's true. I am looking for a slab to put up right behind me here, and I think in this order that I placed from Mile High Comics, I have just the thing to hang up. So I want to get to an unboxing of an order that I placed with Mile High Comics, and it's certainly a condition mystery box, but I went ahead and purchased a slab from them, which I think is the first slab I've ever bought from Mile High. I don't remember. I think I ordered one and it was canceled or something like that, but this one actually the order went through. And if you noticed a little bit of a change behind me, there's a little bit of a theme with some of the books. And as a Star Wars fan, I've been loving the Book of Boba Fett. The season 1, especially episode 2, has been amazing. And like most Star Wars fans, even though I knew that the character was in talks of showing up, actually seeing Black Krrsantan on the screen and having him look so menacing and cool and giving looks and things to Boba, and then in episode 3 having him full on be getting into it in live action. So many thoughts and everything. I mean, we've got potentially Dr. Aphra. A lot of her spec is heating up again in terms of her appearing, because the two of them certainly have a history together in the comics. So it looks like they're using the Book of Boba Fett to introduce some characters that are related to Dr. Aphra's universe. I'm in love with all of it. I think it's amazing. And again, if you have watched some of my other videos, I am one of those speculators that really doesn't speculate too early. I kind of wait until I even see things in live action. So I guess that's not so much speculation. However, I want to show you the books that I ordered, and we'll go through why I ordered them and everything. They're all related to Black Krrsantan and Star Wars. But also, how did I even know which books to get? I don't have the entire comic books database in terms of first appearances, origins, and keys. I don't have all of that memorized. I have to use all of the tools that are at our disposal. But I want to show you a few things that I did to help identify the particular books I was looking for, because even though I was kind of aware of Black Krrsantan's first appearance, I wasn't aware of some of his other variants and everything. So I want to kind of go through, you know, how I react to something and what steps I may take to find comics that I would want to buy. The first thing I need to do is unbox these comics. I'll show you what I got, and then I'll walk you through a few different techniques that I use to help identify key issues related to characters or series, and then also how to figure out if there are any variants out there before I go ahead and take the plunge and make a purchase. So first things first, let's get these comics out of the box. Alright, so here it is. This is the shipment from Mile High Comics, and as I mentioned before, usually once it gets above a certain threshold in terms of what you're going to spend there, they ship it in this giant box that I can't even get on the camera here completely. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And there it is, the packing peanuts themselves make an appearance here. So I'm going to dig in and get some of these books out and try not to spill the... Let's see. Yeah, here is a... Oh, this was tough. There's a second box. Let's get this out of here. Oh, that was bare. That's... Yeah, that was the... kind of the the length of this box here, so it's a little hard to get out. All right, let's get this moved aside. So I have 2 of these guys, and I'm going to open the smaller one and save this one for last. All right. Okay, so as I take the bubble wrap off of this, I'll explain kind of a little bit of a recap of what happened here. So I'm watching Book of Boba Fett, episode 2, and it just so happened that I was going to watch it in the morning on the Wednesday that it came out instead of in the evening. I normally watch shows with my family in the evening. We kind of all wait, kind of an after-dinner treat, so to speak. And we were all available to watch it in the morning instead, and went ahead and watched it. And as I'm watching it, towards the end of the episode, when Black Krrsantan makes an appearance, I knew that as soon as the show was over, I had to run and get on the computer and start to do some searching for books I had, books I didn't have, books I wanted to add, and so on. And I basically ordered 3 books, but got multiple copies. And once we look at the books, then again, I'll show you kind of what my process is here in terms of what I tried to do to find the books. So these should all be the same. This is Darth Vader #1. And this is Black Krrsantan's first appearance. And I decided to get 5 copies. And I think that this is still available at, I think, at the price I paid. I'd have to do the math. I'm pretty sure, or look it up to see if they've changed it. But this was, I was like, okay, it's his first appearance, so let me go ahead and grab the 5 copies here so that I have them. I just didn't have Darth Vader #1. This is the first series, first issue from his first series. And this is the series that also introduces Dr. Aphra in issue 3. And I went ahead and just grabbed the 5 copies, as you see here. Now, I'm normally not ordering, I mean, I guess we're calling it modern, right? The movie era, the Disney Plus era, whatever you want to call it. I'm typically not ordering those books necessarily from Mile High. That I do from time to time, but so my thought process is those are probably not 9.4s. They should be 9.6s or 9.8s. I don't know, but I would think that the newer issues would be closer to 9.8s, or at least give me a chance at 9.8s. Again, that's a whole other theory that I would probably have to prove out, is go through the eras and actually look at the eras of books from silver, bronze, copper, maybe split out modern into a few different eras like I do with my tracking, and then figure out whether or not Mile High is 9.4 in an era, whatever you want to call it, modern era from the last 5 to 10 years, books that came out in the last 5 to 10 years. So that was Darth Vader #1, first appearance of Black Krrsantan. Just wanted to make sure I got 1 copy, and when I was able to secure 5, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to get 5 copies. Now, the other thing I was looking for, other than his first appearance, is first cover. And this one was a little tricky because there was a lot of speculation and hype a day or 2 after the episode came out around first cover, and they were I saw folks online, they were looking at publication dates, release dates, and so forth, and what books people were settling on. Now, at the time that I looked for this after the episode, the book that came back was this book, Star Wars Darth Vader #13, and this is the Hastings variant. And when I first saw it, I'm like, I do like the cover. I like the art on this one, and there he is, and I wanted to get 2 copies of it. I hope these are 9.8s, and While Darth Vader #1 you can find in a lot of places at a good price, including Mile High Comics still. This one was gone. I actually ordered 3 of these and was only able to get 2. So had I been a little bit late, certainly later in the day, these are gone. These were gone. I want to say maybe even an hour after I made the purchase. So that's something that you have to think about, is timing. If this is his first cover, which again, there's some speculation and rumors around what is his first cover, but if you believe this book to be the first cover, and you believe in the character having some viability throughout either the Book of Boba Fett or being in a Dr. Aphra show or movie series or whatever it ends up being, his first cover appearance, there's going to be some significance there. I can't find this book anywhere anymore online, and so is it a super rare, hard to find cover or variant? I don't really know. I think they were just kind of snatched up and labeled by the community quickly as his first cover. He actually has more covers than you'd think, and again, I'll show you what my research technique is here in a moment, so you can kind of see how I even found this. Like, how did I even know to find Darth Vader 13 when I was on the clock? And that's really how I feel when this happens. When you see a character or you hear about a rumor or there's something coming up about a comic or a character, how do you react and how much time do you actually have to react and get that book? It really is a matter of time. You are on the clock. And when I bought the Hastings variant, in an hour they were all gone. So I felt very fortunate. Even though one book was canceled, I was worried all 3 were going to be canceled. I kept refreshing and checking, so I was able to get 2, and I'm very, very grateful and happy that I have those 2. All right, now this is a book that I've actually looked at for a while when I was looking at Star Wars covers and other variants and rare copies to own, and loved this book for the art. And I didn't realize at the time when I was looking at it, other than the fact that it was a variant of Darth Vader #1, I didn't realize the significance. And when I was looking at this, I was probably looking at it a year ago. I didn't understand the significance of the first appearance of Black Krrsantan. So when I started to look at Darth Vader #1, I wanted to see also what, and there were a lot of variants of that book. I wanted to see if there was a variant that I would be willing to maybe spend a little bit more money on. And not only did I find it and realize, like, oh, that was the cover that I liked from a year ago when I was looking at Star Wars books. Once I put it all together and I started looking for the book, Mile High happened to have this book not only slabbed, but slabbed with a yellow label. And this is the book. This is Darth Vader #1, the Del Mundo 1 in 25 variant cover, signed by Mike Del Mundo. Now, the only thing I noticed, it has the old label, but I'm okay with that because when I started looking at the cost of this book by itself and how it was spiking around it, you know, looking at a 1 in 25 variant, I'm not going to talk about necessarily ratio prices and value and things like that, because I think that can be a whole discussion. If it's a 1 in 25, should it be 25 times the cover price? Should it be at ratio at $25? It was selling for more than ratio. I know that much. And I think at the time I was looking, it was somewhere in the $50 to $80 range. And then when I saw that Mile High had this, I kind of panicked a little bit and thought, well, I'm either going to find it on eBay or somewhere else and pay the money to get it, and then deal with potential color rub on the back, and, you know, then I'm out $75 or something for this book. It's not a 9.8. It may not even be a 9.4. And you kind of see where this is going. And then I FOMO again. Or I can just pony up, buy it, and have it. So this is the book that's going to go behind me. And I'll put it there in a second. But there's one thing I want you to notice here. The slab case is in pretty good condition. It does have some, I don't know what you call it, just like, this isn't on the case itself. I can't get these off, so that's just kind of in there. But check out this corner. This is the stuff that drives me nuts, because I sit here and I agonize over comic book grades and condition of books. And then that whole bindery tear down in the corner, that splitting down there, I can't really angle it this way. It's about as best as I can get for you. I look at that and go, oh man, that's a 9.6. That's got to be a 9.6. That's unacceptable. It's way too much. It's even potentially an impact corner. And then I wonder if CGC says, well, it's a signature book, so maybe the artist didn't do that, right? I don't know what they're thinking there, but the book is super sharp otherwise. Top corner looks great. But wow, this image is, as a Star Wars fan, it's haunting. It's the expression on Anakin right there, kind of like an innocent look that he has, kind of where he's going, and there Darth Vader, and then also with the chain down here, and then the nice the artist Mike Del Mundo picked a great spot to sign there, to not, like, it wasn't like right under here or over the eyes, kind of off to the side there, but just absolutely loved it. So let's go ahead and do the honors and put this one up behind me. There it is. So that looks great. I'm super, super happy to add that to my collection. I feel really, really lucky and fortunate that I was able to find that book. When I did, I definitely had to pay the money for it, and I understand that, but it's one of those things where I look at all of the cost and the time and the agony of trying to get a book that you really, really want in a high grade, and if it's something that you want and you end up buying multiple copies to try and find one that you think is slab worthy, or in this case a slab and signed worthy, I always knock off somewhere around $100 on a signature series slab, just for the cost of trying to acquire a book, send it into CGC, paying the signature fee, and so forth. So I did not get a deal on that book, but it made sense to me at the time if I was going to get a first appearance of Black Krrsantan, which I don't think is on the label. Yeah, it doesn't even indicate that it's anybody's first appearance in there. I just wanted to secure it. Again, one of my theories is, if you are sure about a collection, a comic, a character, whatever it is, if you feel in your gut that's the book, then you have to take possession of the book. You have to figure out a way to do it. Sometimes it costs money. Sometimes it's just perseverance, going to LCS after LCS, digging through bins, finding things online. Whatever your method is, you have to take possession of the book. And I have a number of books that I've taken possession of that haven't panned out, and then I've sold them, and I've more or less got my money back, and that's been okay. I have felt like that's all right. And in other cases, I've kind of chickened out. I haven't paid. The book slips away. I never get it. And I totally have buyer's remorse over it. So my theory now is, if I can afford it and it is a book I believe in, that I could, at a worst case, get my money back down the road, take possession of the book. So I saw it. I knew it was a one of a kind on Mile High. I wasn't going to see it again. Somebody else was going to buy it. I bought it, and I love it. So I want to pass along a few tips here. So let me share my desktop. And I want to show you a few things. Hopefully you're aware of these, but just kind of show you what my process is. So the very first place I go is Key Collector. And I know Key Collector can be a polarizing topic. but I use Key Collector as a database. So what I like to do is I like to see any books related to a character or title that I'm researching, and I want to see, you know, what Key Collector is reporting. So the first thing I did was I did a character search for Black Krrsantan and confirmed that Star Wars Darth Vader #1, released in April 2015, is the first appearance of Black Krrsantan, a Wookiee bounty hunter. This has been updated since that day where Episode 2 came out. So some additional books have come out. So I'll jump back here in a second, but as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, let me start the hunt for Darth Vader #1. And then I jumped to cover price. And again, confirm first appearance of Black Krrsantan. So this is now a couple of sources that I trust and I use that are reporting that this is the character's first appearance. And I started to look at the value of the book and so on, and then realized, oh boy, we have quite a number of variants and everything. And I said, okay, so before I get into all the variants, let me just try and secure cover A, which I did. And I said, let me get those first. Some people would argue maybe get the variants first because they're harder to find, they're rarer, and then you can come back and get cover A. I totally understand and respect that idea as well. A lot of people said get this Alex Ross 1 in 50. That's the book to get. Late printings, so forth, are all here. So when I find that one book, okay, so it's Darth Vader 2015 #1. That's the first appearance. I try and confirm it in a couple of places, and then I'll dig into cover price and look at their known variants. And I'll just start to scroll through here. So what I was doing is, okay, I got the cover A, got it in my shopping cart at Mile High, and then I started to scroll through and go, wow, there's quite a number of variants. And I was like, well, one of these must have Black Krrsantan on the cover, so let me find that. And I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling, and then I went, wait a minute, here's that Del Mundo 1 in 25. Oh, that's amazing. Now you'll see a lot of these have a negative trend. So this is down 17.7%. You can thank me for that since I purchased a copy. Because I feel like sometimes I'm driving down the price by acquiring these books. But the movie photo, 1 in 15, also a great one. But I was sitting here going, gosh, that Del Mundo 1 in 25 variant, I remember seeing it a year ago. I had trouble locating it other than eBay, and I didn't want to buy a very fine copy on eBay. And then I told you the story of how I acquired it, but this was how I found known variants because I don't have all of these variant covers memorized. I'm just using cover price in here. So here's some other options for you. The Whilce Portacio one is another great one. Love his art on that cover. Scotty Young, you know, you're either into it or you're not, but this was another one, and I passed on this, and you could see this one is up 7%. So you can kind of see we're kind of riding the wave here of a new Star Wars character, new to, I would say, hardcore Star Wars fans that maybe don't know anything about the comics. And I have friends like that I talk to regularly that it's not that they don't recognize the comics, they just haven't done anything with them, and they only look at the shows and movies and everything. So options, you have lots of options here. Action figure, if you love that one. Midtown exclusive. So once I saw the Del Mundo, I got that. Now, none of these really screamed Black Krrsantan when I saw it in terms of cover or anything, so I started to get a little confused and wasn't quite sure, you know, what cover he appeared on that was kind of his first cover. So if we go back here to Key Collector, they have since added some more books. Star Wars Darth Vader 4, second appearance of Dr. Aphra, second appearance of Black Krrsantan. This is a book that is on the rise right now, and for good reason. We have dual second appearances in here. It's a book that I'm looking for. It's a book that if you're speculating on these characters like I am, you should definitely get it. So here's where it gets interesting. Here's Star Wars Darth Vader #13. Now, at the time, this book was, there were like 3 books on this page. I want to say it was the Hastings, Darth Vader #1, and then one of these. It was either Star Wars 14 or 20, and that's all they had. And since, obviously, the characters had a little bit of a growth spurt in popularity, so good on Key Collector for adding more books. They changed the description of this because it said first cover appearance, but now it's been adjusted to say Darth Vader 13 went on sale November 25th, and Vader Down #1 went on sale November 18th. So this is a Z-Box Mystery Box exclusive first cover appearance of Black Krrsantan. So there he is, right there. I like the Hastings cover a little better. Of course, I'm biased because I have it, but this is just kind of the process, right? Here is an interesting one. This is the Mile High Comics exclusive first cover appearance, and this is tied because it technically has the same release date, November 18th. Let's look at this one. And where is he? That's him, that mashed potato character. I can't zoom in on it there, but I guess that's him right there. I don't know what to tell you. Like, does the quality of art, does that change a character's first appearance? No. So if you're just buying on cover first appearance, then you'll have to own one or both of these. And then I like this one better. It just, I don't know. I guess that's my opinion. The other interesting thing here is we have a Clayman variant also with Black Krrsantan, and that's Star Wars 13, not to be confused with Darth Vader 13. Vader Down #1 and Darth Vader #13 both have exclusive covers featuring Black Krrsantan that predate this issue's on sale date of December 2nd, 2015. So now here's an interesting thing. You have two exclusives with a cover appearance rather than a variant. So if you're kind of trying to differentiate between a variant, like a store variant and a regular variant, now you've got the Hastings book in here as a variant. Now it's listed as a store exclusive as well. It gets complicated, and it really comes down to your opinion or what, and then the market's going to decide. Basically, the folks that own certain books are going to push that as the first appearance, first cover, first origin, whatever. But they've added a lot of books here. Now, these books were not available at the time under Key Collector. I didn't see all of these listed. So there's one other place that I go to find some things related to either artists or characters, and that is leagueofcomicgeeks.com. And what I'll do here is I will use the search, and you can search for comics, titles, creators, and more. And I will use this to find books associated to a character. So if we type in the character, here it is. Similar to how Key Collector works. And you get a nice little overview of the character. Sometimes it's a bit more lengthy than this, depends on the character. Not necessarily a Wikipedia or a fandom entry. But it's more or less accurate. Nicknamed Santi or BK by Dr. Afra. And then featured in these comics, you have history, origins. Here's a more detailed origin. So I was wrong there. The intro blurb is just the intro. Here are all the details. I forgot that they put it down here. So lots and lots of backstory on the character. And this is true for more or less any character in comics. You can use this site. You can use this site to track your collection, everything. But again, I try to avoid like a lot of manual data entry here. So I don't really track my collection in here. But this is pretty cool for getting details. Now, this is what I use it for here. Featured in these comics, and then click View All. So these are all of the titles that Black Krrsantan has appeared in. So if you're going really heavy into speculating on a character, you can start to dig in even further. So the first thing I would look at here, it looks like it's alphabetized, but I'm looking at the dates. So 2016, 2015. So if I didn't have Key Collector or Cover Price and I was just looking at this, I would assume that his first appearance is either Star Wars 2015 or Darth Vader. But if I click into Darth Vader, then we see, okay, and it's reverse sorted. Let me sort back here. So you can see here where Key Collector is stating that the first appearance of Black Krrsantan is Darth Vader 1, second is in 4. This is kind of making sense here. And now we can start to see it. So if I wanted to click on this and see more details of Black Krrsantan, down here, there is a list of characters that appear. And there he is, Black Krrsantan, who appears here. And then on the right-hand side, you have another look at all the variants that gives you one more chance to kind of look over the different variants associated with this one. They're more or less in line with cover price. I'd have to go one by one to see if there's, like, I don't remember seeing this Matina one, but anyway, there's different options here for finding other variants or incentives related to that. So this is kind of what I use. The navigation isn't great because if I click back, now I'm taken back to the character and I have to click view all again. So why do I use this? This is now I want to take it a step further. Now, again, Key Collector has updated their page to include some other key books, but there are more series here than they're listed in Key Collector because this is just everywhere that character has appeared. So it looks like Black Krrsantan made an appearance in Bounty Hunters #1, Darth Vader, Dr. Aphra, Screaming Citadel is interesting. I didn't realize Black Krrsantan was in Screaming Citadel #1. This is where Luke teams up with Dr. Aphra, and according to League of Comic Geeks, Black Krrsantan is in here, as others are as well. So again, there's different ways to kind of dig in yourself and do some research on some other books that feature this character. And if we click over to Star Wars, we should see those books that were recently added to Key Collector, where Black Krrsantan is fighting Obi-Wan, fighting Chewbacca. So here's some other like storyline speculation books that you can pick up on. While that's loading, I'll flip back here and show you what I'm talking about. So here's Star Wars 13. Love this cover too. He's front and center here. Star Wars 14 is great. He's fighting Chewbacca. Star Wars 20, fighting Obi-Wan. Here's another one that kind of slipped through off my radar. Dr. Aphra #1, the action figure variant. Key Collector is saying high value for this book is $95, or high grade, I should say. And then Dr. Aphra Annual 1. This is another book that's taken off a great David Nakayama cover. Again, lots of cover being taken up by that Wookiee there. All right, so this is loaded. And again, so if you just saw this, and let's say you didn't use Key Collector and you're doing your own research, again, what I would see obviously standing out is Star Wars 20 and 14 popping with Black Krrsantan right on the cover. And then, you know, while he's appearing in these other books, he's not necessarily on the cover. So then you can kind of decide, do I also want to pick up 31 and 32? Is that of interest to me? Possibly. Right, if you want to read more about the character. So a really great resource here, and like I said, you can search by creator, by character, by title on League of Comic Geeks, and lots of great tools at your disposal. So I use kind of a combination of those three, of Key Collector, Cover Price, and League of Comic Geeks, to do some research around where a character has appeared, how they've appeared, cover first, origin second, first cover, and then dueling covers, tied for first cover, you name it. Like, there's lots of resources, and you kind of just use all of this and pool it all together to kind of make your, help guide you to help make your decisions in terms of what you want to buy for a particular character. So there you go. So super, super happy to add that book right there, the Del Mundo 1 in 25, first appearance of Black Krrsantan, signed by the artist. That's going to stay up there. Did a little rearranging of the slabs behind me, going with the Star Wars theme, because that's what I'm into right now. Again, I kind of shift the way everyone else is. I know you're supposed to shift and zigzag in the opposite direction of the market, but I kind of float somewhere in the middle. And right now, I'm loving Book of Boba Fett. I'm all in on Star Wars comics, and really happy to add those. And I'm really into Black Krrsantan and seeing where they take that character. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.